Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I am with Ram and Tom Giberson, who own this incredibly beautiful garden space that I've shown a couple times. I showed it with Dr. Armitage back in the fall, and then I put up a 30-minute walkthrough video, which is a stabilizer video. And so this is kind of the explanation of this garden, the history of this garden. And so we're gonna pop to some different places, and Ram and Tom are gonna answer some of our questions.
Hi everyone. Here we are, see each other again. The last time that Dr. A and Jim Putnam was here, the people that watched that in the fall, the comment was so heartwarming. A lot of people said that my comment made them cry. I read you guys' comment, I cried too. And thanks so much for your all inspiration and enjoy this place. You all touched my heart too, and thank you. So today, follow up with that, this spring, and this is my husband. I may be the one that chainsaw the tree down, but he's the one that behind the force behind that helped make it happen. And welcome again. And this is my husband. And go ahead.
Okay. Well, we've been here since 1990, and when we moved in, everything back here was dense thickets, and I actually came home from work one day and Ram was out here talking about taking down trees, and then she marked the trees the next day, and then I came home the next day and she had a chainsaw. And you never argue with someone with a chainsaw.
Oh, okay. We love to tell you guys a little bit about us. Tom was in the military when we met. And I grew up in Thailand, and he grew up in Los Angeles, California. The term people said is small world. Yeah. That is small world for us. Yeah. He was born in the United States, I was born in Thailand, and somehow we met. And then we met in about 1 month, and he proposed. So I said yes. We got married, and within a year later, we traveled from Thailand to United States based on to build our career. And he was not even in the college then. So, sorry. We came with a couple boxes, a personal belonging. Then moved from place to place by his school. I didn't speak English. And go to night school to learn speak English, and then work in the factory at the same time. And he go to school and try to get a job every way that he can. Sometimes have to sneak into a union kind of job because they pay a little bit better. That kind of our life evolved through his school, college, medical school, all that. We moved around to United States, and this spot that we're standing right here is by choice. We look at the geology, he looked at geology and tried to select where we're gonna live. And happened to be asked what kind of accident that we found this. And he came and looked for a job, and then fell in love with Aston, Georgia. And went home and told me, you gotta see this. So we moved here, and then building the garden in 1991, and never quit then. And for me, this is the joy in my life, and I never thought that the love that I have to create it meant so much to so many people who watch it.
This area here, this was also all thickets, and after we cut down some trees, Ram was on the bobcat and she flattened this area out.
I didn't do all that.
No, we did a lot of it. And
Isn't that funny?
and then we put grass in here, and that really didn't work.
Yeah, Tom is right. This whole part, you know, from the front to here, it was just erosion actually. When it rained,
Yeah.
a bunch of dirt watching here. In my mind was because our dining room kind of here, then I want to see something when the dining and looking down so we can see something, look, something then. So because of that, we hire people to come in and help with the idea of creating the pond. I kind of say, okay, I want a pond here and going around and around, so that's what we come up with. This is the pond. Then we have quite a few problem with the pond builder. And then I say, okay, I don't know anything about the pond, but you guys doing is not working. So I tell Tom, let's do it ourselves. So I know I'm laughing because it. People saying you you see something here, it's beautiful, it's pretty, but when I go back to my mind, I keep laughing because it doesn't look like this, and it's so much to do. We kind of start a little bit there and there over, try to reconnect the liner that they cut wrong, and then kind of patch it a little there and there, move the rock and such. Sometimes the rock that you see like those, I will roll them because Tom, most of the time he's working. For me, I'm down here, it's okay. Only me, so that's what I do. But you know, the big rock and thing, and we hire people to come and help us and get the pond together, and then we build the walkway, and then later on we have these pots put in. This whole garden, you see the big garden, but it's a room built by room at a time, and then kind of linked to each other. If you would ask me, do I know how I know it's gonna come like this? No, I don't. It just kind of room by room, and then for some reason, it connects. So by the time Dr. Amatus came with the student, that was about almost 4 years, 3 years later, 3-4 years later, we already put the bamboo over there, and we have, again, the bamboo over there was gift to a surprise gift for my birthday, for my husband, the golden bamboo over there. I'm from Thailand. I never thought about putting the bamboo in the garden, but he thought about it. You know, you would think that he go to work all the time and be with the patient and all that at night and then go to work. I never thought that he would even think about that. But when I saw the bamboo, I was like, oh, oops, what do I do? The person who planted that say it was non-invasive. So we put the bamboo, I was so happy. But about 2 years later, the bamboo shoot was right here. Oh, wow. Yes. And the bamboo shoot was just everywhere. It go real far. And the black bamboo shoot also all the way to the swing. So Tom looked at me and he said, well, we either do something with the bamboo or move. So, because it was real bad, I kept control by breaking the bamboo shoot, but the root is everywhere. Every time you dig, it was solid, hard. Then I learned one day by listening to some of those shows. They said bamboo is a giant grass. So if you retain it with something solid like that, you have to go down at least 3 feet, build a retainer wall around it, and then make sure that it never get out. Because if it does get out, it's kind of like Bermuda grass or soja, it's gonna go everywhere. So I said, okay, we can't move. We already put in a lot, So I hired people in the summer for like at least almost 2 months for like 4 men. Uproot. Yes. Uproot some of the plant that was in around the pond. Plant that would overly plant around the swing. Uproot a lot of plant here and then take it all out, and then they will take the bamboo. It was like 3 or 4 truckload. Yes, to take a dump somewhere. So, and then we build the retainer wall, go down 3 feet deep at about this wide. And then in between the channel of the 3 feet, the rebar cross like this, every foot around it. Then pour the concrete. And on top of that, nobody told me, but I want to make sure that I don't have to do that again. So we order some of that metal liner, laminate around the perimeter to make sure that any creak, any crack on the concrete that the bamboo cannot poke through, but they will if they could in time. So inside between the wall, there's a metal sheet go around it, 3 feet down, and then above the ground, and pour the concrete and plant the bamboo back. Starting point, we kind of started over there actually, that little metal pond that we have. Well, let me go back just a little bit. We kind of started like changing down the cutting tree down. Then start to clean, and then it's amazing how horrible it looks. Because the jungle, you think it look bad, but when you start cutting, it get worse and worse and worse. It's so many trees down everywhere here. It kind of stressful, to be honest, in that time, because there is no beauty of that, but I just said, okay, it cannot get worse than this. So that kind of started from there. In that time, we hire people to come in with this truck. Like people come in after all the tree down, and people come in, and here was just kind of dirt all the way. They just come in on the end of the driveway, come through here, and then the bobcat would taking the tree in the truck and then take it away, left with the whole area here with a red clay.
We initially brought in some boulders, and we brought in initially 200 tons of boulders, and the land just absorbed them. Some of the boulders initially were free, and then of course everywhere we went on a ride, Ram would see a boulder or a rock and say, let's get that. So that's what we did, but we have well over 1,000 tons of boulders and rocks and stuff in here.
Wow. And you put those steps in?
These were original. We had a little berm that was along here, and so this just came up as an initial idea, and it's great. I love these steps.
Like I said, in the erosion, the clay and all that, watching everywhere. And I did try to planting in clay then. I don't know anything about mulching and conditioning the soil. Did not have any knowledge on that at all. So I learned quite a bit from nature, a lot of programs that I can learn on the channel. You know, when I have time, sit down, that's what I learned about that. And then the people who take the tree away later on come back and help me with other tree. When I saw them shipping the tree that they cut down and loaded away, I said, whoa, it just kind of like bulb went on in my head. I said, could you leave it here? They said, sure, if you want it, we can come back and dump so many trucks for you if you need them. So they don't have to pay for a dumping load. I said, whoa. So, and that's what they do. They come back, truck after truck after truck. One time, 1 year, I remember, I had 8 truckloads lined up, not here, over there. 1 pound after the other, it's about the big truck. I let them rot for about sometimes 6 weeks. Then I hired kids that look for easy job. So and that's what they do. They come in and then we wheelbarrow the dirt, just mass it out all the clay area, that's what Mr. Jim Putnam did too. And then when I saw that show, I said, yeah! So bit by bit, that's how I built the whole garden, with some free more, some buy more. Okay, beaming up to what I do today, because it had been built up so much of the mulch and the wood chip and such. This soil, let me see. Here, this mulch, it called twice grind mulch, which is, they're not free because beaming up today, I don't get those pie shipped from the tree cutter anymore, because it's kind of hard to use it here because they're fresh, and this has been kind of aged a little bit, and then they grind 2 times. I did it every year to mark the soil, and because of that, see back here, you see that little thing here, everywhere. I know you don't like them, but I do. Dig it a little bit. There's earthworm everywhere, since I don't use any chemical in this garden, and this it prevent a lot of seed that coming up. Then I don't water a lot because of that. Used to have irrigation that set to be on. Now I don't have any irrigation that on. That's just about it. Year after year, I mulch this every year.
And you're also using the ground covers. A lot of what's
Yes.
holding, yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And you would think that the ground covers would be using up a lot of water, but they're actually, that lower story actually is holding water in as well.
Exactly. And I just learned something that's so mind-opening to me. There was a program talk about how the plant, most people, most gardeners that I had come in contact, they think if they plant a lot, it has to water a lot because they a lot of plant, and they think that. But that is totally not true. What I learned, to my experience, and I learned some other program that kind of confirmed that, said if you plant a lot of plant, big plant, small plant, and all those, kind of lay them up, they all work with each other to bring the food to the root. Because they said if you plant only small plant, the surface root can't go deeper into the ground to find water when during a dry day, and then they're completely dry. But they said if you plant a big tree, the big root cracks the soil. So when it rains, it kind of brings
It allows the water to soak in.
a lot of water to soak in, and it brings the water to the surface root too. So in other words, they work together. They are. I don't know. I'm not really good in explaining that. They kind of support each other. They work with each other. You know. For me, that's don't be so. Don't be so scared to plant a lot in the garden, because the plant needs friends too, I think.
It needs friends, plants need friends. Okay, so you compost everything.
Yes, I compost that every year. I do that. Sometimes there's 24. This garden is so big. Don't let the big scale scare you, because for us, for me, I have the huge passion that cannot stop. But for the people, they can just visualize what the area they want to have and make that fit what you need. One thing I always said to the people that come to tour this garden, I said, number one, the priority for a person to build a garden need to know kind of who they are and what they need to fulfill that life. For us, this big garden, and maybe not for Tom, but but for me, because the passion is just so big. If I starve it, I probably, if I have small garden, I probably end up killing them by taking care of them too much. So having this big garden, I don't have to taking care of the corner all the time. Then I do other thing, another thing. And then believe it or not, up to this point, this garden, because the mulching and the belief in the ecosystem, not spreading, not killing the insect and all that, it's not really a whole lot of care. I have only one person, that horticulture student, and he kind of come and go to help me, but he's really good. All the mulching that you see, he helped me mulch and all that. But other than that, it's me.
We initially bought the house with this lot, and Ram kind of looked into the future and said, well, we really need to get the lot next door. And so we got that. So the total land that we have here is 1.6 acres.
Okay.
And all of this didn't happen at once. It's happened over 30 years. And so it's one plant at a time.
One plant at a time. Okay.
Exactly.